What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to another live stream. Now, I don't typically do live streams on the weekend, but hey, why not? Came on to do another one here because I think there's some good stuff to talk about. So, if you guys wouldn't mind, can you let me know if the stream is coming through okay and you can hear me? I'm actually working on a new stream setup and been working on some things over the weekend, so just want to make sure it's all coming through okay. Because I kind of changed softwares and been doing a couple things. So I want to make sure you guys can hear me okay and that the stream is coming through all right on your guys' end. Fantastic. Good stuff. Good stuff. All right. So what I would like to talk about today, or shall I say tonight, is the fact that this next week is going to be absolutely big. Because there's a lot of earnings plays coming out. Many of you know I'm a big fan of earnings. I love earnings, and we do have a ton of earnings plays coming out this weekend. Or sorry, not this weekend, this week. So there's going to be a lot going on. So we're going to cover some of the main ones. We're not going to do, a whole lot of analyzing of these stocks in particular because anything can really happen during the earnings release and earnings report, and they can gap up and go up and down all sorts of different ways in which we won't even know till it happens. But just want to come on and talk to you guys about a lot of the stocks that we're going to have coming out this week. I'm doing good. I'm doing great, actually. So I'm going to go ahead and we're going to get into sharing the screen here in just a second. Let me get some stuff ready. All right. So, for one, this is going to be the biggest one for me is we're going to be having Netflix. So actually, I'm going to go back to here. I'm actually going to go back to the previous screen. So this week altogether, we're going to have, let me name them off for you. We're going to have Netflix earnings, United Health Group, Johnson & Johnson, Domino's, CSX, a lot of other banks. We're going to have, who else we got in here? We're going to have PayPal, Skechers, E-Trade, probably not going to be all that good. Then we're going to have Pfizer. So we got a lot of big names coming up. Honeywell, American Express. I thought Visa was in here. Maybe not. But this is going to be the kickstart of the new earnings season. So Netflix, as you guys remember, last time they had earnings, it was super crazy, right? They gapped down like 80 points and then they ran $60 a share on the day. So we're going to have a pretty good week on our hands coming up. Basically Tuesday. Tuesday is the real start. There's a few other earnings reports Monday that may or may not be good. But we're going to have a lot of stuff coming up that's going to be, personally, in my opinion, great. So, again, like I said, we got Netflix coming up. We're going to have Domino's, Skechers. So this is going to be a fun week. And then starting into next week, we're going to have more names. So do get ready because our pre-market watch lists are going to be containing lots of stocks gapping up and down. So should have a pretty good start. So personally, the main, and now we're going to talk about the market. I did want to come on and talk about the market as a whole. So we'll get into doing that. I do believe, I've been saying it for a couple days now. I was kind of surprised that the market kept dropping the way it did, not bouncing, but I do believe we are going to bounce. My sentiment is still to the upside a little bit, right? We had this massive drop in the market, but I do believe this is going to start picking back up. So if I were to put this on a 180-day chart, it'll probably become a little bit more clear, right? You can see it now, maybe a little bit more clear. And let me do one more thing. I got to grab my drawing tools, put them on the screen. There we go, share. So, right, if you look at the SPY, you can see obviously the big downturn, chopped, consolidated, now it's kind of curling. So tomorrow I'm going to expect that we're probably going to see the market bouncing up, even possibly to 282. So I do think there's going to be a nice recovery bounce on the market tomorrow or the following day. So what does that mean for you guys, right? A lot of your big name stocks, whether that's Tesla, Facebook, Amazon, Micron, AMD, Nvidia, Shopify, Square. A lot of these are going to be on my watch list tomorrow. Basically, any big, large tech stock should be on your watch list tomorrow. And I'll show you why, right? So if you look at Square, Square is one that I'm definitely going to be following, right? Look at Square. It just got absolutely annihilated over the past couple days, right? If the market goes green tomorrow, and we do have that big rip and short squeeze and recovery bounce on the stock market tomorrow, there's a good chance we're going to see a lot of these stocks go through a big bounce. So I'm going to be watching Square tomorrow long. I'll be watching Netflix long. Again, any of these big tech stocks, definitely going to be watching those long bias. When AMD, yeah, I mean, I could see AMD having a good day. Let me check AMD. Yeah, AMD's setting up in a manner that could pop up. I would say AMD could probably squeeze up towards probably AMD has potential to get up towards like 28 tomorrow. I don't see AMD getting above it's probably not going to get above like 28.50. Probably won't get to 29. Yeah, if AMD has a good day tomorrow, it's probably going to move up towards 28.50s or sorry, $28 tomorrow. That's where I could see AMD. It all depends. I know some people have been shorting it, so I would say watch AMD long without a doubt tomorrow. I wouldn't be surprised to see that have a good day. Netflix is one I'm going to watch long tomorrow. Let's see what else we got going on. What about Micron, MU? MU's okay, but MU had a death cross a while back, actually. Yeah, MU started a death cross, so I'm not a huge fan of MU. But again, a lot of these stocks are going to have some big plays tomorrow, I do believe. I wouldn't be long bias on any stocks right now, right? I've been saying this for months, right? For those of you that follow me regularly, you guys know that I've been saying not to be getting into any new long-term positions right now. It's just not worth it. Some people listened, some people didn't. And at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter if people listened or didn't listen. But again, this is, I've been saying it for a while that the market's going to come down. We're at the top. And, just this last week, the markets got crushed, right? Now, did I know they were going to just drop the other week, right? Did I know they're going to drop on those days? No, I didn't. But again, right, that's 2 times within the past year that we've had a big scare, right? And there's more to come. This is nothing. Guys, I'm telling you, this is nothing compared to what's to come, right? People think that's bad. Just wait till the real move happens. I mean, we're probably looking at 50% retracements on the market. I mean, this is like a paper cut compared to what's going to happen. This is like a paper cut compared to a shotgun blast to the chest is what's going to happen. So when it comes to getting into any new long-term positions, I don't see I don't see any point to doing it, because you could just wait for the market to come down, which it will, and then you're just going to have mass amounts of great buying opportunity, because these things it's going to drop, and it's going to drop worse. And Netflix and Apple and Tesla and Nvidia, they're all gonna go. They're all gonna get wiped out clean, right? For sure, it's gonna happen. And so for me, the buying opportunity here for long-term investing isn't here anymore. Right now is short-term long plays, shorting, and just playing short-term plays until we go through a market correction. Right now, there's not much money to be made. Value investors have not been investing for quite some time. Hold on one second. Do you feel it's important to invest in companies that have enough cash to cover their outstanding debt? .com, there's a lot of things that go into fundamental investing, but yeah, that would be a good one. You know, if any company has enough cash flow to cover existing debt, that's a bonus for sure. That wouldn't be the only thing I would look at. What do I think about weed stocks this week? You'd have to help me out. I don't follow them as much. Is this the week that the legalizations is supposed to go through? And if it is, then yeah, you should watch them. Why? Because that's a strong news catalyst right there that could positively affect all those stocks. How how does he know it's going to drop? It's pretty obvious, Mark. You know, how do I know it's going to drop? It's just a cycle. It's just naturally what happens. The markets don't go up for forever. Our federal government is in way over their heads with debt levels. They're raising interest rates. People think that's good for the economy. I mean, in a sense, it helps slow it down, but really, it's not good. It's just a sign that we're getting to a point that we can't sustain itself anymore. The emerging markets are failing. I mean, people are starting to flee into treasury bonds. I mean, it's time. It's going to implode this time. I mean, it's going to be bad. Markets way over everything you look at. Like I said, go look at a 20-year chart of all your most common stocks, like these big ones, overhyped one, Amazon, Google, Netflix, even Tesla, kinda, Apple. You just look at them all. They're way overextended. They're all in bubbles. Like every stock you look at, right? We'll do a 20-year chart here. Give me just a second. 20 years, 1 week chart. Okay. Okay, looking at this 20-year chart on the SPY, right? Everybody was like, everyone's like, holy cow, look at that. Like, no, this thing's coming down to like down to here. Like, we'll probably see the market down to there. 180, right in that level, right? Even 140, wouldn't be surprised. Like, when I think the market's going down, I mean, I think we're going to be seeing it all the way down here. Maybe even lower. I know that sounds crazy, but that's how bad I could see it getting down, really. But let's look at these charts, right? Look at Amazon. Amazon's in a bubble. Apple's in a bubble somewhat. Netflix, that's in a bubble. Square kind of a bubble. I mean, they're all overextended. They're all ready to come down. Again, I don't see the long there. Now to me it's short bias on most of this. Snapchat went public a while ago. Snapchat's been a publicly traded company for over a year now. Just an FYI. Yeah, tariffs with China. I own physical gold and physical silver, and I own ETFs in both. I don't trade NUGT. I don't trade DGAS. I don't trade JNUG. I mean, I can. I just don't. There's so many things out there to trade, right? I mean, if that's something you like to trade, then by all means. But I don't specifically focus my attention there, for the most part. There's plenty of things out there to trade other than those particular ETFs. And by the way, just so you know, DGAS, JNUG, JDST, those are all ETFs, by the way, just so you know. I do have an Instagram. I think it's linked in my page. I'm not sure if it's in the description, but I do have an Instagram, Boiler Room Trading. I do like funny memes and stuff on there. Let's see. So Kevin, I mean, GE's been one stock that's been going down for a long time, and let me actually pop back onto this screen. Right, GE's been a stock that's been going down for a long time. And again, I don't follow it a ton, but I mean, yeah, you could do puts on it. I mean, it's never really recovered, and they're kind of struggling really bad. But I mean, here's the way you look at it. You know, in a company that's been around for a long time, if they can ever reverse and bring it back to a healthy, stabilized company, there'll be great returns to the upside. But you know, again, I think there's better. Like if I had to pick, right? If someone gave me the options between shorting GE with options or shorting the market without, I would pick the market. I see more potential return in term. I see more of a return in shorting the overall market or in shorting Amazon, Netflix, Micron. I see more profit potential shorting those right now than I do GE. And that's just a personal opinion. .com. That's an interesting one. So I'm kind of torn on that myself. It's hard for me to determine whether or not I'm having trouble determining whether or not Chinese stocks in are a great deal right now or if it's a trap. And the reason I say that is because the Chinese market had taken a hit. Excuse me. Chinese markets have taken a hit prior to our market taking this little dump, right? So the Chinese markets have been already getting hit, which has then caused that drag down in a lot of these Chinese stocks. And so a lot of the Chinese stocks are theoretically at a great buying opportunity in relation to where they were just recently, right? If you look at where the stock BABA is, if you look at BABA, right, it's since 2008, it's retraced 50% of that move. So from its highs to where it's currently at, which I think is about $144, it's had a great buying opportunity in relation to where it's been. But if here soon our markets take a turn for the worst, you can be sure that it's going to drag down all the global financial markets as well, okay? America's like the one financial market that's still performing somewhat okay. If we go, we're going to take everything in sight with us, okay? And it's going to cause a massive ripple effect throughout all the financial markets across the world globally. And that's the thing is they've already taken a hit. So it's like, yeah, are they a good time to buy? It's like, yeah, kind of. But if we go, they're going too. So again, it's just not. But I would say this. I do think some of the Chinese stocks are at good buying opportunities. If our markets can continue to hold up over the course of like the next year without really giving way, I see return possibility there. So in relation, you just got to play it safe. Swing trade, low shares, and just manage them. Honestly, I don't keep up. I haven't, or I don't trade oil, crude. So I wouldn't know enough about what's going on in like the oil industry. It's something that I never really delved into too deep. So I just couldn't give you good advice there. Sorry about that. Um, let's see. Sorry, I'm reading some comments here. If I had, let me put it this way, if I had $3 million to just dump in the market right now today, what would I do? I wouldn't do anything. I would, well, I'm already going to do that, but if I had X amount of dollars to put in the market right now, what would I do? I wouldn't do anything. I would not buy a single thing. I would just wait because it's not a good time. Okay? So if anybody out there is telling you it's a good time, they are not educated. I don't want to call them knuckleheads. I mean, they might be a knucklehead. I have worse words for them, but it's not right. It's not the time to buy. If I were as large as CNBC and I had a live media station, the number one thing I would do every single day is tell all investors that right now is the worst time to possibly buy in the stock market. If I were you, I would stop investing entirely. I would not open any new positions. If I were speaking to a mass amount of people in the public, that's exactly what I would tell them every single day. So hopefully, that's my goal, is one day to be somewhat big to CNBC so I can give out legitimate information. I would tell everyone right now is the worst time to buy. Absolutely horrible. I would definitely not buy anything in the stock market right now. Not worth it. Crashes don't affect penny stocks. Penny stocks are in the small cap indexes, right? So penny stocks are small market cap, and institutions and most people don't invest in penny stocks. So penny stocks aren't really affected. Why? Well, I mean, if you think about it, right? Let me put it this way. When the major markets go down, they naturally are going to affect most of the large market capitalization stocks. Why is that? Well, because most of the market is owned by institutions and hedge funds, and they're usually invested heavily in these large capitalization stocks. And so when those go down, everything goes down, right? There's more to it. But put it this way, penny stocks naturally suck anyways, and they're already going to shit, right? Penny stocks are already going down. They're already going to pennies and pennies on the dollar. So there's really not much worse that could happen for a penny stock if the markets do go down, because they're already going down. Penny stocks are only good to have short-term trades on them for like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days, depending on if they go supernova. If the penny stocks go supernova, then sometimes they're good for like a week and a half, 2 weeks, and then they crash anyways. So when people ask, are penny stocks affected? No, they're not, because penny stocks do whatever the hell they want to do. They get pumped up. They're slightly manipulated. A lot of times when you see a penny stock starting to move, it's because someone's manipulating that stock and they're causing it to increase. And then the company will pay some advertising place to send out pump articles about how good their stock is. And people get interested and it gets pumped up, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. You get the deal. But there will be somewhat of an effect on penny stocks when the market goes down, because when the market's going crazy and it's crashing and it gets to like rock bottom, everyone's scared to invest, and I think the stock market's the worst place to be. And when people think it's the worst place to be, that's when it's the best place to be. When everyone thinks it's a good place to be, then it's the worst place to be. Okay? It's kind of like, buying a new t-shirt or a new pair of shoes, right? What were those like Kanye West shoes, the Yeezys, right? And then I think Nike, correct me if I'm wrong, I think Nike came out with the Huaraches, right? Like those shoes were cool if you were the first person to get them. Now if you have them, it's just like, oh, cool, you got them, right? There's nothing to it. That's like the stock market. Right now everyone's like, oh, the stock market. It's like, nope, I want nothing to do with it now. Nothing. When everyone's like, I don't want it, it's like, yeah, that's when I want to play. Right? It's like an opposite effect. I know it sounds weird, but when everyone's like, it's a horrible time, everyone's scared of the market, that's when you want in. And then when you have everyone going, oh, what do you think about this? This thing looked good, and it's like, no, that's the worst time, right? And that's how that works. Let's see. So there's nothing you can really do. Okay, when people say like, oh, well, where do you put your cash? Well, here's the thing. If you put your cash in the bank, you're losing money due to inflation. If you put your cash in the bank, it's not even secure. Right. Really, the only true secure places to have your money in realistically are in gold and in silver, and arguably cryptocurrency. Arguably, because the government doesn't have full control over cryptocurrency, so that means they can't screw everything up that they usually do in the first place. So that's kind of it, right? So those are really the two safe places, or possibly three, right? Arguably cryptocurrency, right? But gold and silver is the only place. It's not safe to even have your money in banks, because if you went through like super economical downturn in the market, the banks wouldn't even have the money. They wouldn't even allow you to get it out, because we wouldn't even have the money, right? I mean, like, money's just, It's a piece of nothing. It's fiat currency that has no value other than what people give it nowadays. So there's really no safe place for your money, to be completely honest, unless it's in gold, silver, and arguably cryptocurrency at this moment in time. Hold on. Why I won't besides emotions, there's nothing emotional about the market in what I do. Why I wouldn't invest long term besides emotions? Let me ask you, if do you know the basics? So anybody say like besides, do you know the basic concept of buying stocks, right? The basic concept is buy low, sell high. If you look at everything right now, you tell me, is it low or is it high? Chances are, if you are looking at the right things, you'd come up with the conclusion that everything is high. So just based on the simple fundamental rule of investing, everything's high. It's not the time to buy. And it's not based on emotion. Nah. Again, look at interest rates. Look at it. I mean, look at interest rates. Look at debt. Housing sales are starting to go. There's a massive debt problem. College college debt, credit card debt, loans on cars. Half of America can't even, I would say literally half of our population in America can't even afford to own the things they own, realistically. Like, people go out and get loans on cars. It's like, you don't even need that car. You can't even afford that car, right? It's like, there's just so many issues. It's so many, and it's going to implode on us. Oh, that's another one.com. I mean, I'm not gonna like go into the whole like should guns be banned or not banned, but that's another thing that naturally gun prices and like ammo like that in those prices increase during like bad times. Those do tend to actually go up too. Buy water. Um, just kind of looking through some comments here. Yeah, you see everything on sale right now because we went through a mini dip in the market. You are right. Everything is on sale right now for a short term bounce and play. If you look at long term, you'd get annihilated. If you were to buy right now and hold it for the next 3 years, you're going to get smoked. Facts. I can almost promise it. I don't want to, because then if I was wrong, I'd make myself look like an absolute schmuck, which I probably do sometimes, honestly. But I would say if you were to buy right now, if you bought Facebook, if you bought Amazon, if you bought Tesla, if you bought Micron, if you bought Alibaba, if you bought Shopify, Square, Netflix, you'll get smoked within 3 years' times. You'll be smoked. And then you're going to have to wait another 7, 8 years just to break even on those. Most likely. So when it comes to like money wise, I keep a limited amount in the bank because the bank's a scam. Banks are scams. People tell you otherwise. They're scam for sure. Facts. Bank's a scam. So I keep minimal money in the bank. I keep money in the bank just to like handle necessary transactions. Then I keep money in cash, and then money in retirement accounts and investments, and then my trading account. Yeah. I would say Apple is not at the top and not even close either, but it doesn't matter because when the markets start to go, they're going to take it with it. It's what you have to understand, right? So yeah, you could buy now and probably make money in the future, but there's a better price coming on most all stocks. And here's another thing too, is what naturally happens is the really strong stocks and good stocks will obviously last. And then even when markets are like crashing, there's like 15 to 20% of the stocks in the overall market are still actually bucking the trend and going up while the markets are going down. And you'll know which ones those are, because when the markets are crashing, you will eventually find a few stocks that are still going up while the market's not going up. And those are the ones. Those are the ones. I'm not against trading contracts of differences or CFDs. CFDs are illegal to trade in the United States unless you're working as like an employed prop trader of one of those firms where it's not your actual solely individually owned account. If the account's actually owned by the company and you're working as, theoretically an employee, as like a prop trader, then you can. But otherwise, there's no other way around it for United States citizens. I have no clue what's going to go on with Bitcoin. I am kind of optimistic on Bitcoin and cryptocurrency for when the markets take it, just get crushed. I am actually pretty optimistic. I don't think, and that's the thing, is I don't study cryptocurrencies like most. Here's the difference between like crypto in a real company, right? If you're looking at a real company, you're looking at like debt ratios, you're looking at cash flow, you're looking at earnings and revenue and projected earnings and revenue and PB ratios and like earnings EPS ratios. So you're looking at all these different fundamentals, right? And when you look at a cryptocurrency, there's not anything there to tell you about that. Like the cryptocurrency doesn't have a PB ratio, it doesn't have earnings per share, it doesn't have any of that. What it has is the technology that's behind the actual. I don't have an actual coin here, but let's say that this right here, this is Lumix, right? This is my cryptocurrency. This is Boiler Room Trading's cryptocurrency, right? This little thing, this coin. But this coin, it doesn't have, why isn't it focusing? There it goes, maybe. Right? This coin here doesn't have any cash flow. It has nothing. So really the only thing I have to determine its value on is how well built the technology is behind the cryptocurrency and what kind of service it's going to provide the population in the future, right? So that's what makes cryptocurrency a little challenging in terms for me investing. Is it's really, you have to have like a certain level of vision and perspective on the crypto technology to understand what is most likely out of all the cryptos, what's most likely to succeed and what's most likely to fail, right? And that's where it's at. So if you could yourself confidently define a cryptocurrency out there that you think is safe, reliable, here to stay, and the technology is fantastic, then yeah, that I could see that being somewhere you'd want to put your money, without a doubt. Cryptocurrency is not going anywhere. I don't think it's going anywhere. It's still very new. I don't think it's going anywhere. I think it is here to stay. Now it's just determining which out of the ones that we have are here to stay and which ones are going to be good in the future. That's where my head's at with crypto right now. Trading books, the market, Trading in the Zone by Mark Douglas, How to Day Trade by Andrew Z are two good books. My favorite movies in terms of the stock market are The Big Short. I love the movie The Boiler Room, though that really doesn't teach you a whole lot. It's just kind of a cool movie. And then there's another one, I forgot the name of it. It's with Charlie Sheen, with Gordon Gekko. Is it Gordon Gekko? Was that his name? Gordon Gekko. I think it was. I can't remember the movie, but if you look up a stock market movie with Charlie Sheen, you'll find it. I don't know what it is, but it's something like that. Carlos, I still recommend. That's another thing, guys. Like TradeNet, TradeNet. I guess I'll talk about that now. TradeNet is a company located in the UK that you can open up a funded account with and start day trading, even if you have below 25,000. Many of our premium members use it. It's actually I think it's the second link in the description of the video. Basically, TradeNet is a stock market financial education source, but they also provide funded accounts. So for example, if you were to sign up with them and do their intro course and account, you can spend $500 and they will give you an account that has $14,000 worth of buying power. If you do the $3,000 option, they'll give you an account that has $80,000 worth of buying power, and they're not restricted to the pattern day trading rule. So you can kind of get around that, and that's a CFD trading broker. So that's kind of going back to what I was speaking about earlier about CFDs. The only way you can legally trade CFDs in America is really by using TradeNet or some type of system that allows you to be a prop trader. And that's a route. So if you guys are interested in that, it's the second link in the description. You can join them. They'll give you some educational material, but then you'll also you'll get like a funded account to trade with. Wolf of Wall Street's a cool video. Wolf of Wall Street's more like partying and so I mean it's good, but I mean it really does dive into some of the shadiness that took place back in the day. So yeah, so like that's the thing, right? So there's some, about the TradeNet accounts. If you blow up your account, you lose the money, and that's really just it, right? If you blow up the account, you lose your initial investment, and that's just it. Same as you would if you were trading on your own account, right? If you start an account with 500, and you blew through your 500, you would lose your 500. Same thing with them, essentially. Again, it's the second link in the description of the video. You can check that out. Azim Khan, yeah, that's the second link in the description regarding your brokerage question. So Andrew, like about building a computer, that's entirely up to you. As I've gotten to trading so much more, I do have like some pretty strong setups. I would love to build my own computer, but I don't think it's necessary for trading. You just need something that's the market norm these days, like the standard normal computer built system. What that is, I don't really know, right? Like I know like nowadays most computers come with at least an i7 core processor, and most have 8 GB of RAM, and rather than get into all those crazy details, I mean, just get something that's the norm these days. You don't need anything too crazy. If you blow up the funded account, then that's just it. You blew up the account. You can buy a new one, but yeah, that's just kind of it. Wall Street, there we go. The art of art. That's actually, it's a little bit false. To call TradeNet a scam, because you said if you lose 400 out of the 500, you lose your entire account. It's actually if you lose 700, then you lose the account. But let me ask you this. If you opened up an account of $500 at TD Ameritrade or Robinhood, right, and you lost all the $500, would you call that a scam? Probably not, because you lost all of your money. It's just what happens. So yeah, right? If you open it up and that's another thing with TradeNet, is they actually give you a little bit more money to trade with than your account's even worth. If you put in 500, they give you what's called like a max loss of 700 or 4,000, depending on which account you go with. But to comment on that one, it's a scam. You don't actually get to lose 400 on the intro. You get to lose 700 on the intro. Or you can do what Tammy says. Yep, you can raise your own cash. You can do a lot of things to gain cash. Yeah. Let's see. Yes, they do take a percentage of your profits because they're the ones putting up all the money for you to trade with. Vincent C, I have heard otherwise. But yeah, I would definitely check it out if you. We're gonna. That's another thing. We will be having a full-on swing trading course here within a couple weeks. That's just gonna honestly blow. I would say blow everyone's out of the water. Just, just, just absolutely annihilate everyone because we're just gonna kill it. How long did it take me to become a day trader full time? I mean, I've been trading for a total of like 5 years now. So it's been actually probably going on close to 6. I don't know. We're 5 or 6 years in, so it's been a long time. Naturally, most traders are done in like the first 2 hours of market open. If things are really hot and momentum is hot and things are still going wild, I'll stick around and trade longer. But naturally, yeah, we're done within like the first 30 minutes to an hour and a half. Bamboo, I just did a video on cash accounts versus margin accounts. You can check that one. I literally just uploaded it like then like 2 hours ago. I am going to be turning. I'm 25. 25. So that's the thing is I never really blew like I did blow up an account, but never really blew up account. Like I never like made my account go to straight zero, right? I always lost money and then had to add more money and add more money. So like over the course of how long it's been, I would say it's probably was like three. Like I deposited money and then blew through the money probably like three times to the point where I didn't go to flat zero, but had to deposit a lot more money. Now those are I mean that's been a while. I mean I can't even think the last time it's ever happened, but I mean it's happened. You just take a trade and you get greedy and or you hold a trade too long. So it's happened probably three times. So if you've ever blown up an account, I mean just know it happens to everyone. So don't feel ashamed of it. I mean it's just natural, right? Don't feel ashamed to blow up an account. That's like if you ask most college students, do they feel ashamed for going to college? They'll probably tell you no, right? But you should reiterate the question still. Do you feel shame for throwing away? I don't want to say throwing away, but spending hundreds of thousands of dollars on your college. And they'll probably say no because they got an education, right? So when you think about blowing up an account, you shouldn't feel shameful because all you're doing is educating yourself on how to properly or eventually build yourself a career in the stock market to get earn you money. The only thing is if you get really good at it and do it much, much faster, you'll start seeing money well before a college student does going in for a 4 year to 5 year, degree program or something. Yeah, we do live trading daily in our premium service every day. We're always live and we're always doing trades live. First broker I started with was TD Ameritrade, and I'm still on TD Ameritrade. And I've tried, Robinhood, and I even did TradeNet, and like I've jumped around. I've opened up a Lightspeed account, haven't deposited it. I'm about to do an E-Trade account. Basically, I'm going through like every broker I can because I need to for some reasons. I actually need to open up an account with like every single broker on the market to test them out for business reasons. But yeah, that's down the line. Profitable 2.5 years. What is a stock split? That's a good question. So a stock split is basically so you could think of a stock split, in other words, as a company basically saying we're garbage. Usually. All right. So a stock split is when naturally a company is performing poorly and they do what's called, well, it's not a stock split, it's actually a reverse split, is probably what you're referring to. So a reverse split is when they end up taking shares off the open market for purchase, right? So if I had, let's say I had a million shares on the market for purchase and our stock was worth $1. And then if I did a 1-to-2 reverse split and took 500,000 shares out of the market, I might actually be wrong here. I don't think I am. But if there was a million shares to purchase and they went through a reverse stock split, a 1-to-2, that means they would take half of the shares on the open market off the market, and then the price of that stock would jump to $2 a share. That's what reverse stock splits do. They decrease the liquidity within the market to bring the value of their stock price higher. That's what that is. When I first started trading, I had I mean, it's hard to say, but I mean, because I even traded on Robinhood, like just to test it out with like a couple $100, right? Just like, oh, let's see what this is about. Like, oh, this is cool. When I first opened up a TD Ameritrade account, it was like only $1,000. Like, this is when I first started, right? And then, once I figured out what I was doing, I just dumped in more money, above PDT, then, crushed myself, then had to train more, put more money in, and then crush myself a bit more, and then put more money in, then hurt myself a little bit more, to the point where you eventually get there and you're like, man, I just got to stop kicking myself in the nuts. And then it all falls into place eventually, and then you figure it out. It's just about, I mean, it's it's hard for me to say because there's just this, everyone's like, oh, it's so hard to become profitable, and it seems like a never-ending battle of trying to make winning trades. I still lose all the time, so don't think I don't. I lose all the time. But again, there's just like this vicious cycle of, when am I going to be profitable? Oh, I thought I was right, but I'm wrong. And it's like, you cannot beat yourself up, because at the end of the day, again, guys, you are learning a career, right? Even if you went to college for 4 years and then you got your job, you would still suck at your job even after 4 years of education. Chances are, because that 4 years of education has absolutely nothing to really do with the job you most likely get. Maybe some of it applies, but naturally everything you learn is not going to apply in a real life situation. Not all the times, but if you ask anybody that's done that typical college work, they'll tell you that majority of what they learned in college doesn't apply whatsoever to their real life job. I won't say it for everyone, but I guarantee if you ask majority, they will tell you exactly what I just said, right? So don't get upset that you're not just absolute. You guys will know who I'm talking about when I says, don't get mad that you're not just absolutely killing it in the market this year, up 230 or 300% with 3 simple strategies. Don't get upset if that's not you, okay? Because this is a process and you're learning a career, and it's going to take some time to get there, right? So just keep an open mind, right? And here's the other thing, right? Even if you don't become the world's best swing trader or the world's best day trader, everything that it is you're doing right now is going to just help you so much more in terms of average investing, right? If you talk to, any of your friends or people who don't know too much about investing, just have 401ks, maybe an IRA, they know nothing. I can tell you right now, the average person knows so little about investing. And even I do, right? If you were to look at the grand scheme of things, I know nothing compared to everything that can be known. I know a lot, but it's like there is so much. That's the other thing. That's the cool thing about the market, is there is so much to learn. You can never stop learning. You can never stop progressing and you can never stop evolving and developing. The market creates so many opportunities. You'll never be able to get them all, but you can never stop learning, right? And that's the other cool thing about the market. But even if you don't become the best swing trader or the best day trader, now or never, what you will learn is a lot more about the market, and that's just going to help you in terms of some of your retirement accounts, picking some things that you would like to invest in. So, whether or not you don't do this as a full-time gig for, ever or ever, it's just going to teach you that much more about what you should be doing, right? Now right now is a bad time to buy in the market. I told you so. Or I'm telling you, it's bad, right? So the next time the markets look like this, you'll know, maybe I should slow off on investing, collect some cash, wait for us to go through recession and buy, right? Because that's what the institutions do. That's what the hedge funds do. That's what private investing groups do. That's what Buffett does. That's what Charlie Munger does. That's what Peter Schiff does. That's what Ray Dalio does. That's what, not Harvey Dent, Ray Dent, Charles Dent. Anyways, that's what they do, right? And we educate people on the same things. It's just when you look at like CNBC and these big, majority of the people, the masses, they work full-time jobs. They don't have enough time to do this like we do it, so they don't see it. They're not active like we are. So most people don't follow these rules to investing, and then they get caught up in all the hype, right? And the more people that know this, the more control you have over what's to come, right? If you stop investing at the highs and you start buying at the lows, your returns are going to be great. And that's ideally what I'm trying to help some of you guys do. Buy and hold is a strategy. You just need to make sure you're buying low and you're buying something that's good. Hold on. There's been a lot of questions that came through that I didn't even get a second to look at. I don't know. I didn't look enough into PYX. Nothing made me decide to get flagged as a PDT. If you're referring to this account that I'm on, yeah, my account's flagged as pattern day trader on this account because, I don't want to make this too long of a spiel, but to put it simply, I dropped below the $25,000 account in this account a couple months back, maybe a month ago. So then they just put the PDT symbol on there because I am a pattern day trader type. Yeah, that's basically it. I dropped below the threshold and they put that symbol on my account. You don't lose 50% of your money if the stock goes through a reverse split. Not like particularly on money management. I don't have a video on that. Justin, I mean, that's up to you. If you want to invest heavily in shorting the stock market, that's entirely up to you. I wouldn't say that's a question, right? If I have $2,000 to my name, investing $500 in shorting the market would be investing heavily to me, right? If I had $20,000, shorting the market $10,000 would be investing heavily to me. So I would say determine what heavy is for you and then go based off of that. Yes, we are going into a recession. Here's the thing is like, when we say recession, market crash, I mean, I hate to be the doom and gloom guy, but I'm looking at worst case scenario right now. I'd rather look worst case scenario than downplay what I think's to come. I think the next push, I really think this next, if you want to call it recession or market crash, bear market, whatever you think it is, I'm comparing it to 2008, if not worse. That's what I think is going to happen. I know people are like, no, there's no way. No way. Well, there was no way it could happen in 2008, and it did. So why is it not possible for something like that to happen again? I think we're just actually more prone to it happening. So in my personal opinion, everybody's got their own, and that's what I want people to do. My personal opinion, I think we're going same path as 2008, if not worse, personally. You guys are funny. One second. I'm still going through a lot of these comments. I can't even. Oh. The reason I don't touch on options because I haven't learned options to a level where I feel comfortable teaching. I mean, I know options better than most people do. I mean, I'll give myself a pat on the back for that one. But yeah, I know options better than most do. It's just not to a level that at which I know stocks, right? Like I could talk to you hours and hours and hours. I could just never stop. I could never stop talking about stocks. But when it comes to options, I just don't know them to a level at which I feel comfortable enough talking to you guys. And you'll know. I mean, I think you would know. Like when you're watching a video of someone, talk, like you'll know. You should be able to grasp whether or not they have a pretty good understanding on what it is they're discussing. And I could talk about options, and I could speak in a manner that seems like I know a lot about what I'm talking about, which I would, but I just don't know it enough to the point where I feel comfortable fully teaching it. We are in the future going to work on an options section for Boiler Room Trading, in which I'm going to be working with sort of a family friend who's been trading options for probably 15 to 16 years now, and we're going to develop everything with options together. So he's going to help me out on that, and then he's also going to teach me along the way. So some options things are definitely coming. I'm not going to look at BAC, Bank of America, personally. Not going to be viewing that. I hope that doesn't come off wrong. I mean, there's just so many questions. Not going to be going into analyzing that particular stock. What setups do I use? I use every type of setup. I'm not a Jason Bond kind of guy with 3 simple strategies. I trade everything and anything that I think looks good. The difference, I know the difference between TVIX and VIX. Chances are, I don't say I taught you it, but yeah, I know a strong difference. Yeah, that came off wrong. Let me apologize. I made some videos on TVIX and VIX a long time ago, so maybe you watched those. I wouldn't know for sure, but I did make some videos on TVIX and VIX and their relation, and so yes, I do know the difference between those. David, no, I do not. In terms of market intervals, tick and trend, no. RD is insured, so cash is safe. So that's the thing, right? Should I keep money in my TD Ameritrade account or my bank account? I don't even know what my bank is. I'm in a community I'm at a financial credit union. So to be honest, I don't really know if the banks are insured or how much they're insured to. But like, let me put it into perspective, right? Your TD Ameritrade account, like I think even Robinhood is like FDIC insured 250,000, right? It's like, really? That it's the biggest BS, right? Because let's say everybody's money got wiped out somehow. There's no way they'd be able to pay it all back. So like that FDIC insured bullshit, it's just bullshit. Because if everybody's money got wiped out, there's no way they could give everybody's money back. How do I know that? Well, our country's already at $21 trillion in debt. So where are they going to get the money from? We don't have any money. Think about it. We have no money. We're so far in debt. There's no money for what? There's so many promises built up in this world, and we have no money to pay them back, realistically. So I think it's all bullshit. So I wouldn't have the 100. I can't tell you. I don't have the 100% answer for the whole FDIC insure and what will or what won't happen. But what I can tell you is I don't trust it. This thing jumps around stupid. Oh, man. What's up with the shirts? The shirts are all made. I mean, I'm actually going to have to get more. But again, as I said, there's really no portal. Still working on a new website. And when we do, we'll have them up for for sale there, so you guys can pick up a t-shirt if you like. I know some people are like really crazy on getting one. They're pretty cool. We'll have some more come out eventually, but pretty basic things, just like logo. The material's all right, nothing crazy or fancy. I know I don't really grow facial hair. It's never really gonna come in. Like, I'm 25 and it ain't gonna happen. I've given up on those hopes and dreams. It ain't gonna happen. All right. The only thing that's ever gonna happen is I'm gonna keep this little dirt stash and I'm gonna be happy with it. Right. I'm happy making $500 a day. I'll be happy with my dirt stash. Right. That's all that I'm ever expecting in this life is this little mustache. I mean, I've been like, seriously. I mean, this is the most facial hair I've had in my whole life, and it's hardly anything. I don't know why there's nothing showing up on your scanners. Maybe you're on if you're on a paper trade account, scanners don't work on TD Ameritrade. Yes, TradeNet, there is no pattern day trading rule. So for those of you watching, in terms of TradeNet, it's it's the second link in the description. Let me actually, that would look really weird if I did that. I can't do that. Maybe I could. Maybe I could do this. Oh, I could do this. Hold on one second. So look at, I'm gonna share the screen. So for everybody real fast, if you were to go, so this is the video. Hello. Right, if you go down, it's that second link, start trading with no PDT, 500 minimum, that one right there. That is the link you would need to go to check out the TradeNet thing. I think it works. I don't know if it does or doesn't. I thought I updated it. Someone said the link was old. Okay, so I need to update that link. I'll do that right now, and then when I'll get back to you guys. So give me like a half a second. Yeah, that's probably why people are having trouble, because I needed to update that link. And I thought I had updated it, but apparently not. So give me just a second. I need to do that. All right, boom. Edit video, sure. All right, I think it's good. I think I changed that over. I think we should be ready to rock and roll. Yep. Yep, the link is updated now. So it's all fixed. There you go, all fixed. So that's the good news. Oh, that's funny. Let's see. What's my opinion on 3 times leveraged ETFs? More like, what's your opinion on them? Right? I don't know. The question is, what are you really asking me? I hope that doesn't come off wrong, right? What's my opinion on them? What's the question you're really asking is what I'm asking, right? If you want to know about 3 times levered ETFs, then what is it that you need to know about them? That's what I think you're asking me. Oh, I did trade on SureTrader. I actually did trade on SureTrader once, and I hated it, and I took my money out. I'm sure I'd probably like it better nowadays, but when I tried it, I was just not a big fan. I think there's gonna be if you guys want to know what I'm doing tomorrow, this is what I'm doing tomorrow. I'll tell you what I'm doing tomorrow. I am trading. I already thought about it. I am going to trade the stock TQ, or not the stock, sorry. I'm going to trade the ETF TQQ. I'm probably going to trade Square. I'm probably going to trade Netflix. And then that's what I'm for certain on tomorrow, I think. And then I'll see if anything changes tomorrow morning. But most likely TQQQ, SQ, Square, and Netflix, NFLX. That's my game plan tomorrow. Oh, and then I might do naked option long. I think I'm comfortable doing some option calls on the market tomorrow naked. So I'll probably do some naked long calls on the market. Probably a strike price of I don't know. Depends on where the market. I'll probably strike price of like 270, 270. What is it at? Is that? Hold on, let me see what the market's at. I don't know. Probably some calls for strike prices of 270 tomorrow. 270 or 274, something like that. Oh, we're already over 270. Yeah, we're up to 276. What the hell am I talking about? Yeah. So probably do some option calls for. If we get over that, we could probably like 280s. Probably like strike price 280s. Get a little bit out of the money. Get them a little cheaper. Hopefully by the end of the day tomorrow, we could see the market up by 282, 283. I'll be in the money on the calls and I'll dump them probably. Yep, unless some penny stocks look good tomorrow, I'll be trading all large cap. Again, there's enough volatility in the market that large caps are hot right now. So that's another thing, guys, you have to understand about me. I only trade stocks that are good to trade, in my opinion. And when there's no penny stocks to trade, and for what I feel, I don't trade them. Right? And that was another thing that like I got, I don't want to say, a little bit criticized on a couple months back. You're like, oh man, I tune into your channel, but it's the same thing. It's always large cap stocks, never penny stocks. And it's like, I'm sorry, but there's just no good penny stocks to trade. If there were, I'd show them, and I do. So, again, that's another thing. I will only mention what I think is good to trade. And right now, I know for a fact tomorrow, TQQ will be good. Square is probably going to be good. Netflix is probably going to be good. And if there's some penny stocks in the morning, I'll know about them, and I'll put them on the pre-market watch list tomorrow. A naked call means you have no insurance or nothing there to hedge that position. EARS. Yeah, EARS is that sub penny stock. All right. Yeah, it's okay. Oh, it did get over $1. That's pretty surprising. Yeah, actually, by the chart, ERS actually looks kind of good. Possible gap fill. It could be. Possible gap fill, 232. Yeah, you can watch EARS. That might be pretty good, actually. Yeah, that's another thing, right? You can't make big gains on large cap stocks unless you swing trade them and hold for a larger move. Whereas with penny stocks, you can buy more shares. And that's the thing. That's the vicious cycle there of new traders thinking, oh, well, I can't afford the large cap, so I'm going to go and smash in a bunch of shares of this low penny stock, hoping that I get a good move and I can make some money. So that's the vicious circle there, the battle of the beginner trader, and it is what it is, man. It is. But if you can learn option trading, you're better off. Let me put it this way. If you have a small account, you're better off learning options trading than you are trading penny stocks. Is everyone's mind blown a little bit? Yeah, I just said that. If you have a small account, you're better off learning options trading than you are learning to trade penny stocks. I said it. I blew the industry wide open. I just said it. Listen carefully. If you have a small account, you're better off learning options trading to make money than you are trading penny stocks. I said it. Most penny stocks don't have options, and the options on penny stocks aren't good. Usually. Yeah, a little bit. Strategy. I don't want to say strategies are different. The strategies aren't different. The stocks just move a little bit different in terms of large cap to penny stock. So, Yeah. Do, 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 do. Yeah, I mean, to answer how do you options trade, that's such a large question. There's no way I can answer it all. So that's another thing. That's why I am pushing so hard to work with this gentleman who's been doing options for 15 years, because it's going to massively change for, I think trading will dramatically change for anybody with a small account, because it is, and I'm not gonna lie, it's so extremely hard to grow a small account. It really is, right? And I haven't tried to do it in so long that I honestly don't even know if I could. I'm gonna be come out and straight honest. Like, it's been so long since I've actually dealt with a small account. So like the problems I face in trading are so far different than the problems you guys face. So, well, not you guys specifically, but some of you, right, might face. And I don't even know if I could do it. I'm gonna be real. I don't even know if I could grow a small account anymore. It's been so long since I've had to. And I mean, I'm sure I could trade well. I mean, I've done some little small account things, but I mean, I could try, but it's been so long that it would be such a step back that it would be challenged. It really would. Um, I would definitely fall back into the vicious circle of trying to trade penny stocks all the time. But I think now, I mean, honestly, I could do it, because here's the thing: is like I have the money to trade, so I wouldn't really be like hell bent on trying to trade. I would just sit, and if something looked good, I'd trade it. Right? I'd have no rush. Right? That's the other thing. Like, I'd be in zero rush, because I'd have my other account I could trade on, and then I could have my small account. And like, if something looked like spectacular, boom, I'll hop in. But other than that, I don't really need to trade on it, right? I could just trade only when I see something phenomenal. Then other than that, I wouldn't trade. Whereas for the average person, they would be like, oh, I want to trade. I want to trade. I want to trade. And they'd feel they have to trade, and then they could take the bad setups and lose the money. Whereas I'd be like, oh, well, I don't really have to trade on this account today if I don't want to. So I'll just keep it up. If something looks great, something's going supernova, yeah, I'll hop in. Other than that, there's no point in trading. Oh man, a small account for you? I mean, I'm just saying like what's a small? I mean, I don't know, like a couple $1,000 is a small account, right? That's what I would call a small account. No, so many people, have so many companies reach out to me asking for me to like work with their company, like test out their product, and then have me market that product to my followers. And I'm just like, dude, no, it's not gonna happen, because, and I'm not saying that their products aren't good, but that's just it, right? You do grow a following, and it's gonna attract a lot of people that want to work with you, and then they just don't have the vision I have, right? And that's another thing. They just don't have the vision. They have this like algorithmic computer system, and they're like, oh, you test it out, and then if you like it, you'll recommend it to all your people. And it's like, I already know what you're trying to do, and I don't want any of it, right? I do think that, and that's the thing, is I am so far against any type of computer algorithmic trading system. I think it's evil. I don't like it. I think they should be illegal. I think they should be banned, and I think anybody that uses them should pay extreme fines and or disperse all that money amongst up to the public, personally. Um, because it's like cheating, right? It's like cheating. It's like putting a little baby, like a toddler in the game with NFL football players. Like, that's no way, anyway, fair, right? Granted, I'm one who lives by the world isn't fair. If something's not fair, it's just tough luck. It is what it is. But that isn't not fair. That's like taking advantage. That's like manipulating, right? You know what you're doing, right? Life isn't fair, and you get caught off guard every once in a while. But what's bullshit is these high frequency algorithmic trading computers that these big hedge funds and institutions use. Like, that's just bullshit. Okay? The stock market is a publicly traded market. Okay? It should be a fair market for anybody to enter into. okay? But it's not. And that's because of these high frequency bullshit machines. And they should be illegal, and I think any profits that have been made by it should be dispersed amongst back to the public. Not the government. Definitely not the government. That's the last place we want them giving the money. But schools, fixing roads, it doesn't matter. Wherever. Give them to half of America's retirement accounts, or the public's retirement accounts or something. They're garbage. I don't think they should be used. Yeah, that's another thing. And that's another thing. I think that I do have a little bit of a belief that the high frequency trading machines are going to cause one of the worst stock market crashes ever seen before, because high frequency trading machines, now I couldn't say specifically, but like back in '08 and like 2000, high frequency trading machines weren't like, they were a thing, but not really, right? Because the technology's advanced so astronomically fast since '08 to 2018, that 10-year stretch. Technology's boomed, right? And these high frequency programs and algorithms have increased astronomically. And I think they're going to just absolutely blow our market to pieces. They're going to shred our markets to pieces because, and I don't know because I don't make them and I don't know enough, but I do have this belief that when the markets start going, all these algorithmic computers, they feed off one another. When one computer says, hey, sell, the other one says, hey, sell, and the other one says, hey, sell. And it just causes this rippling trigger effect through all these algo computers, and they're just all going to go, they're just going to sell, and it's just going to go, and it's going to, I think there's a strong chance for a flash crash in the market because of it, personally. Yeah, the flash crash at 210, wasn't that called? No, that wasn't. I'm thinking of a different one. I'm thinking of like, was it Black Monday? I think it was called Black Monday. It was like back in, I don't know, was it like 19, I don't know, shit if I know. It was something a long time ago, like 1970s. One of you guys probably knows. It was like the Black Monday where the markets crashed 25% in a day. Just like, just smoked everyone. $19.87. 2.9 to 5.3 trend line of the spot. Yeah, Black Monday was nuts. I mean, I wasn't around for it, but from what I hear, it's pretty crazy. So, you know what? I'll just pop on the mark. I'm gonna put this on screen share. I'm gonna do like one last little thing, and then I'm gonna be hopping off for the night. What was it, 7 o'clock? So, real quick, I just want to show you something. The market has broken its 3-year trend. Hold on. So if we do a trend line right, the market has broken that 3-year trend. So it's done it before, right? You know, the market is breaking that 3-year trend line. So, I mean, things aren't looking amazing, okay? Don't think they are. Right now, for 2000, excuse me, for, what's 2017? So for 2017, we opened up right there. For 2018, we're really at almost like no gain, right? This is, hold on. For the year of 2018, that's actually a lie. Hold on. I need to go to the real index. So let's see. For 2018, the markets are currently up now. Like maybe 2%. Maybe. Yeah, so from the starting of 2017, the markets may be up 2%, 3%. So really, we've almost gained nothing this year from this most recent drop, right? And that was a big thing. Everyone always told me, like, oh man, You know, you keep saying the market's going to come down, but you're missing out on these gains. And all I could say is, what gains? There really is no gains for the year. We're up 2% in the market. If you look at your 401ks, most people, they haven't done anything. Nothing. 25% of all the stocks in the market are in bearish territory. The funny thing is, there was some news articles. I read it quickly on a news flash thing, that it said 25% of all stocks in the overall market are in bearish territory. I read some like news thing about that like maybe a couple days ago. And what's funny is I literally said that a month or 2 months before they said it. Like whoever, I can't remember where this article came from, but I did a video like a month ago saying that like 50% of all the blue chip stocks in the market are in bearish territory. And then like 2 days ago after this big drop, they're like, oh, 25% of all the stocks are in bearish territory. It's like, dude, I was saying that like a month ago. And now the mainstream media is just now catching up after this big drop. I was saying that when the market was at its highs at like 2,900. I was like, yo, like, guys, you know, like over 70% or 50% of all blue chip stocks are in bearish territory right now. I would be scared, right? These are going to be your first signals of the market starting to come down. And then 2 days ago, they're like, oh, 50%. It's like, get on your game, CNBC. I was on that like months ago, okay? So, again, the mainstream media is just there for like your quick little news updates. They don't really tell you much, okay? Hmm. Anyways, but yeah, like that's just it, right? So if you look at the SPY from this level to that level, it's broken a 3-year trend. Sure, it's gonna bounce. I already know it most likely will. But again, if you come into like a longer time frame, yeah, it's still up. Like if you do 15 years on a weekly time frame, it's still up. I mean, it's got a long way. Like if you go from all the way in 2008 and draw trend lines, like we're so far off that trend line, it's not even funny, right? So again, the worst is yet to come. I mean, the market's gonna get smoked. But enough of the doom and gloom. Just play the short term. Don't worry about the markets coming down. Just play the short term bounces. Play the short plays. Play the inverse related ETFs. Watch the volatility index. Watch VXX. Watch VIX. Watch TVIX. Watch UVXY. Watch TQQ. Watch QQQQ. Watch Netflix. Watch all large tech stocks. And keep an eye on the penny stocks, high day momentum scanners. As we're going into wintertime, those are going to pick up as well. And so with that being said, I think that's all I got for you guys here tonight. So thank you guys once again for tuning in. As always, do appreciate it. Do give a like, share, subscribe if you see value in the video. Always make sure to check out the first link in the description. That's how you join our premium service and enter our chat rooms and our live trading days and classes and things like that. All right, guys. Other than that, guys, take care. Have a good night. And I'll see you guys all tomorrow morning for another pre-market live stream. That's it. Tune in tomorrow for the pre-market live stream. All right, guys. Take care. And I'll see you guys tomorrow morning.